Hi, we're doing the Catholic social teaching. My name is Brendan Murphy, along with Brendan O'Hagan and James Smith. What is Catholic social teaching? The CST is an approach that concerns what humans do and how humans are in and for society. It focuses on social, political, economic structures, and moral evaluation of society as a whole rather than an individual. Here's a list of where the CST comes from. These are Catholic documents. CSD is a form of social ethics. Believe in focusing on morality in terms of groups because they believe actions seem too narrow to bring about justice. Individual actions fail to show how social constructs influence individuals. Society influences human beings and the actions they perform, as well as the actions we make up in what society is. Social ethicists want us to understand why we do what we do, believe what we believe, and who benefits and what from our beliefs and practices, as well as look under all these to find the underlying beliefs and assumptions are themselves just.
There are 7 themes of Catholic social teaching. It's life and dignity of the human person, call to family, community, and participation, rights and responsibilities, options for the poor and vulnerable, the dignity of work and the rights of the workers, solidarity, and care for God's creation. Life and dignity of a human person. It's the foundation of all the principles of CST. They believe that human life is sacred, and the dignity of the human person is the foundation of a moral vision for society. They also believe that nations must protect the right to life by finding increasingly effective ways to prevent conflict and resolve them by peaceful means. The measure of every institution is whether it threatens or enhances the life and dignity of the human person. CST teaches that how we organize our society directly affects human dignity and the capacity of individuals to grow in community. We believe people have a right and duty to participate in society, seeking together the common good and well-being of all, especially the poor and the vulnerable. It teaches that every person has a fundamental right to life and the necessities of life. In addition, every human has the right to what is required to live a full and decent life, things such as employment, healthcare, and education. We have duties and responsibilities to one another, to our families, and to society in order to maintain these rights.
Options for the poor and vulnerable. It is important as a society that we put the needs of the poor and most vulnerable in our society first. A great gauge at how our society is working as a whole is to determine the difference between the rich and the poor. As our society continues to grow, this separation between rich and poor also grows, and it is important that we put the needs of the poor and vulnerable first. The dignity of work and the rights of workers. The economy must serve the people. If the dignity of work is to be protected, then the basic right of workers must be respected. These rights include a decent and fair wage for all, organization and joining of unions, and the ability to own private property. Solidarity. Love our neighbors as we love ourselves. This is a key important issue in Catholic social teachings. We are one human family, and we must live together to succeed as a society. We must pursue justice and peace in a world surrounded by violence and conflict. We must all care for God's creations. We're all one person under God. We are all called to protect people and the planet, living our faith in relationship with all of God's creation.
A federal judge has determined the fire department of New York City used racially discriminatory hiring practices that unlawfully prevented hundreds of qualified African American and Latino applicants from joining the department. New York City has the least diverse fire department of any major city in the United States. The fire department is about 90% white, even though African Americans and Latinos make up the majority of the city's population. Just 3% of the city's firefighters are black. U.S. District Judge Nicholas Garofis ruled that New York had used tests that discriminated against Black and Latino applicants in violation of the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
The ruling came in a lawsuit filed on behalf of the Vulcan Society, the fraternal organization of Black firefighters. We're joined right now by a longtime New York firefighter.
Our moral issue today is regarding the New York Fire Department. There's a pending lawsuit against New York City Fire Department for racial discrimination on the department's entrance exam. The allegations include choosing white applicants over African American and Hispanic applicants. The group who filed the suit is the Vulcan Society, which represents African American firefighters.
The Vulcan Society is a society that represents African American firefighters and believe that the city of New York is discriminating to get white firefighters, even though they are saying qualified Black and Hispanics who have applied to take the test were sent home. New York City has the least diverse fire department in any major city in America. Only 7.4% Black and Latino, 57% of Los Angeles' firefighters, 51% of Philadelphia's, and 40% of Boston's are people of color. The fire departments are 30% Black in Baltimore and 23% Black in Chicago.
For the side of the FDNY, the fire department is giving the test and are choosing the most suitable candidates, regardless of race. Race does not come into play. The test is of cognitive skills, reading and writing, and it is simply who scores the best. It is important for the city to have the most educated and best candidate for the job, regardless of their skin color. These people are there to protect the people of the city. Taking the best applicant is what is happening when the test is given.
In conclusion, discrimination of any sort is wrong according to Catholic social teaching. Every individual has the right to have a fair chance at a job. It is only human decency. But at the same time, it is human decency, especially in a case like this, to choose those best fit by the standards within the test to protect our rights and freedoms. Such as a firefighter, it is protect the people from danger. And to be honest, we want those best qualified on the job.